What is the weirdest thing your girlfriend does? Sleepwalks. Sometimes she even starts doing chores in her sleep like folding laundry. She's not very good at it, but a plus for effort. My ex told me she sleepwalks, but I never witnessed it. But she did talk in her sleep. Just a bunch of weird stuff, like one time she kept telling me a Chinese man was putting fire on her feet. My mom slept over at my place a few years ago during a crisis, during which I didn't sleep, and kept talking in her sleep about zombies. When she woke up, I asked her about her zombie dream, and she said she didn't even dream about zombies. For what I recall, we have around 5 to 7 dreams and sometimes remember one or two, but it's pretty easy not to remember at all. I just have one big, long connected dream that has events that are completely unrelated, but led to there from previous events. So an apocalypse and a pony party, for example, wouldn't be separate dreams, lol. It's almost like AI videos. Just nonsense. I've had sex in the middle of a shooting and impending explosion. I don't get it sometimes. My girlfriend talks to inanimate objects like they're her roommates. She'll say things like, "Come on, toaster, I know you can do it," or "Why are you hiding from me, keys?" It's both adorable and slightly concerning. But hey, at least she's polite to them. My GF does this. Once she slipped the habit out in our apartment complex elevator. Some other tenants got in and it creaked pretty loudly and she nonchalantly said, "She screams when she's angry like a goddamn horror movie line." That's pretty funny. Wait, we don't all do this? I personify plenty of things. When I drop stuff, I say, "Ha, take that ground." When I'm mad, she is mad even more. Mad at you or mad for you. I think I hate my boyfriend's shitty job more than he does because I hate to see him upset over it. My ex was like this. She turned into a little Asian gremlin of fury. If anything presented itself as a threat or negative influence to me, big-time protective instincts. I actually really appreciated that. Wait, this is weird? Huh. Not gonna stop doing it, though. Not angrier at him, by the way. Angrier for him. He's not usually very emotional. I had an ex like this, and it almost always made the situation 10x worse. If we're not upset, sometimes it's better for everyone to follow suit. I hear you, definitely wouldn't work for everyone, but it does for us. He's so conflict averse. People take advantage of him. He appreciates it. If I'm angry, like a bad day at work, I will tell her, "I'm angry, but not at you. Just let me be angry for a bit, and I will calm down eventually, so sorry if I snap, but I'm not taking it out on you." Other times, I will be angry at her for something, and she will be angry at me for being angry at her. So I'm angry at her and end up apologizing for it. I get so confused sometimes. Biting me everywhere out of nowhere. Sometimes a kiss is not enough to show affection. It's so true. Sometimes I just need to go chomp. After chomping my husband, I tell him, "Love hurts," and give him a little smile. Sometimes she'll struggle to express herself using words and just start flailing her arms around while thinking for a few seconds. I find it so adorable. Are you dating Grover? No wacky waving inflatable tube woman. When she's sad or having a bad day, she asks me to cheer her up. To do this, you need to hug her and quickly lift her up. It always makes her smile and she makes the cutest sounds. Sometimes I stop too early and she politely asks for more. She is 21 years old and I will always be there to support her when she needs it most. That's like the most normal girlfriend behavior ever. Smells my armpit randomly. I do this to my boyfriend and he finds it so peculiar, but he smells me when I first wake up like a warm chihuahua. What does a warm chihuahua mean? As a chihuahua owner, there ain't nothing like a morning sniff after they've been baking under the covers all night. I love smelling my boyfriend. It may be his armpits, his skin, his hair. He would ask me, "What do I smell like?" And I respond with, "Smells like you." He finds it strange and funny yet cute. And at random times of the day, I just want to smell him. Basically, your partner's pheromones can be very intoxicating when you're in love. Also why my wife gnaws on my arm randomly. Or she's part zombie. She perpetually has the national anthem stuck in her head for some reason, so without warning she'll just start singing, "Oh say can you see?" My wife sleeps with one sock on and one sock off. Says it regulates her body temperature. She's always done it. Does she switch feet every other night so they both get the fairness of what temperature regulation they're getting? No. It's always the left sock is off. She says it's like when you sleep with one leg on top of the blanket and the other is covered. She's so weird. But she's mine. When she's sad or having a bad day, she asks me to cheer her up. To do this, You need to hug her and quickly lift her up. It always makes her smile and she makes the cutest sounds. Sometimes I stop too early and she politely asks for more. She is 21 years old and I will always be there to support her when she needs it most. That's like the most normal girlfriend behavior ever. My wife makes tea, barely takes a sip and leaves them untouched. There are always like 5 to 8 cold teas around the house at any given time. I try and pick them up when I can, but she seems to forget about them faster than I can spot them. My girlfriend collects fancy teas. There's a whole corner and cabinet in our kitchen devoted to tea. She has a cup of tea maybe once every other month, and other than that, she drinks coffee. It baffles me. My wife is similar. She makes massive mugs of tea and coffee and then only drinks half of them. After the first few times of chucking cold tea over the floor, I learned to check cups before putting them in the dishwasher. We have normal-sized cups as well. Why not just use them and drink all of it? How does this not drive you absolutely insane? This kind of negligence and expecting someone else, me, to clean up after them has been a massive reason for me breaking up with women. I always see it as a sign of a larger problem, and I'm starting to get to the age where I'm worried I can't be so picky. I've broken up with amazing women because of shit like this. I've started to think for a while now that I'm the problem because I can't look past it. Maybe they don't expect you to pick it up? I forget my drinks everywhere all the time. I'm single, so I have to pick up after myself, so I can assure you I don't intend to do it just so I have to clean something up. She waves at dogs. Not like a little howdy, but like a full-on manic waving. So of course dog owners think she is waving at them because who waves at dogs? This leads to awkwardness as some men think she is flirting and some women think that she thinks she knows them. But really, she just loves dogs. She eats a banana like a maniac by peeling the whole thing, then holding the unpeeled banana and breaking off pieces of it like it's a candy bar and eating it. I thought maybe this was some trauma/preemptive response to guys staring or sexually harassing her as she ate a banana in the past that I would get. But no, she said she's done this her whole life, breaking off pieces of it like it's a candy bar and eating it. You eat your candy bars one broken off piece at a time like a weirdo? I eat mine like normal people eat bananas. My ex used to hold full-on conversations in her sleep. I found that if I asked her a question during her sleep talking, she would answer with 100% honesty and would not remember any of it when she woke up. And she would sleep talk every night without fail. I never told her about it and have not spoke to her in over 10 years. It's how I found out she had been cheating and some other scandalous things. She always thought her sister or her best friend were the ones telling me. Was here the entire time. When my wife and I first started dating, she stayed the night. When I woke up in the morning, I noticed that she slept with the blanket tight over her head. The only part of her that wasn't exposed was her feet. I just thought that this was such fucking peculiar but endearing behavior. Edit. Meant to say that her feet were the only thing exposed. My girlfriend farts in her sleep, like absolutely rips ass and they smell bad. We sleep in separate blankets, so I never get it too bad, but a lot of times she's backed up to me and I feel it. Keep in mind she's very petite and dainty, so I find it hilarious but still a little frightening when it's dead silent. Probably the switching languages as she speaks. I only speak English and it's the only language most people here speak. But she studied away, so mid-conversation she would start speaking one of her 4 languages. It doesn't even seem intentional, and she ends up having to repeat herself. Maybe she's checking if someone answers instinctively to out them as a spy. You never know. This, the only logical explanation. Sounds just like my entire school. Pure Spanglish. It's technically not a great habit since a lot of the time when you switch mid-sentence, it's because you can't remember the word for it, and instead of stopping, figuring out the word and strengthening your vocabulary, you just switch to the language you do know the word in. No one really cares though, lol. It's kind of just how we speak now. Could be. But her native tongue is English and she will switch to another even though she's less fluent in it. I personally think it happens because of word association, as when talking about cooking, she tends to switch languages more as she learnt to be a chef in a different country. She switches to her mother's native tongue a lot when talking about TV shows. Let's say we discussing going to get food mid-sentence, she would switch even on basic words or after saying the name of a place. It's so odd. After typing all this out, I must say I admire how easily she learns languages and can switch between them so easily. Me and my wife do this all the time. Some words don't necessarily have a proper translation, and/or it's easier to say in that language. So we'll start a conversation in English. She'll try to say something but switch to Spanish. And because I've been in France for over 20 years, I'll most likely respond in French. Everyone looks at us as if we're the next evolution of human beings, somehow impressed and worried at the same time. For context, I'm British-born, lived in France for 20 years, and I'm married to an amazing Argentine sweetheart. That's cool. 'Cause you understand what she's saying? I'm 100% lost, lol. She also says this, that other languages have words that have meanings that English just don't really do justice. To that, I want to say we also have those, for example, defenestration. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe and comment if your love do something weird. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.